do you take your power back? Find out who you are. And the best way to find out who you are is to find out what you're not. So people who don't know themselves, I always recommend that they consider this. If you don't have a clue who you are, what aren't you? Like, there's so many times in my life where I was on the road to self-discovery, and even now, as I discover new dimensions of what I am and who I be and why I'm it, I do elimination processes. So I'll say things like, I may not know exactly what or who I am, but I know I'm nothing like you niggas, and I know I'm nothing like you flaw bitches. So what are you? Because what makes me say that I'm nothing like you? And I can say, okay, like, you're dishonest, you're unintegral, you're this, and that. And I can say, well, I do my best to operate from a place of honesty. I always do self-checks. I do my best to be integral. So that way I can narrow down what I am by being honest about what I'm not. And in that process, I may discover that I'm really actually a lot of things that I don't want to be. So saying I do that seeking search within myself. And I say, that person is not a very honest person. And then I'm honest about my life and be like, you're not a very honest person either. So you a lot more like them than you are willing to admit. So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? At what point in your life do you begin to operate from a genuine place of honesty? At what point in your life did you begin to self-check? At what point in your life did you begin to truly examine the reflection and change what it's reflecting, as opposed to being upset about what you're reflecting and then break the mirror? At what point in your life did you make these calibers of changes? And how did you make them? And then I go in and I do exercises about how to make them. How to truly, authentically adjust and make these calibers of changes in my life. And I say caliber because it comes in stages and levels. Like, you can be really honest at stage 2. But if you are elevated to a stage 4, that stage 2 honesty is no longer an acceptable level of honesty, because you have had to tap into different dimensions of yourself. And you see, honest at stage 2 is not honesty for stage 4, because it requires and demands a higher level of integrity and operations in your human existence. So as I upgrade myself, I am forced to upgrade how I deal with myself. And as I upgrade how I deal with myself, I become a lot more protective over me and the people who trust me with them. Like, I had posted a post yesterday that's really like the code that I live by. If people stand behind you, you better protect them. If they stand beside you, you respect them. And if they stand against you, you show them no mercy. None. And that's a code that I live by in my life. So when people seek me as their source or mentor, etc., I take on a spiritual responsibility and accountability for them to protect them. And how I protect them is by staying as honest as I can with myself. I stay operating from such a genuine place of love and integrity as humanly possible for the stage that I'm at. And in return of doing that, I protect the people who trust me with their evolution. So if you look to me to be a resource, it is my job to stay as genuine and as integral as possible, to be there for you however I can be there for you, to provide the service that you trust me with, even if it's just to remind you that you are valued and you are valuable.